Well, people, so far, there is no verdict in the Laken Riley case. No verdict yet in the Laken Riley case. They're still having hearings and testimonies. Not sure how long it will go. It is a long process, arguably. It's Monday, November 18th, 2024, 4:28 in the p.m., and that is Central Time. And one of the positions is, was it him or was it his brother? They share each other's clothes, they sleep in the same bed sometime, off and on. And, you make your defense, which is sometimes your best offense. Hey, what a situation to have happen and to unfold. I've been running videos on this thing since it happened and did one the other day. And today, again, is the anniversary of Skull and Bones. So we'll see. We will see. If not today, I do believe stronger possibility tomorrow. Now, all over the news today is this. You can't miss it. President-elect Trump will declare a national emergency for mass deportation plan. All over the news. Look at it. Mass deportation confirms deportation. Emergency. It's just everywhere. Migrants. People, it's going to be a barn burner because you have some mayors and governors poking their chests out saying, I'm not going to cooperate. It kind of reminds me of the history of America between the North and the South. Are you getting that feeling? The North versus the South. And I just get that feel. Tell me what you think. Is that the feel that you recently had? Am I picking your brain for the moment? Or is something that you thought about it from the beginning? Because it appears that it's creeping that way. I think it's by design. I think it could very well be in concert with the movie, Civil War, or at least the title. Right? Leave the world behind, little skirmish there. I think all those things have to be considered. Are the conditions ripe? I'm kind of glad the summertime is over with, but hey, it's always the right time if you keep that confusion and that hostile atmosphere out there. And if you got those sleeper cells out there, ain't no telling what could be ticketed off and the linchpin. And certainly this situation here with the Laken Riley, the thing is just, the timing could not be, more ever present. Again, God bless her family. But yeah, let's get into it. I want to hear your take. Because if you got governors and mayors popping off saying they're not going to cooperate, will this and can this mass deportation take place? Or will there be a fight in every neck of the woods? National emergency. How much power does a president have? Are state rights mute when it comes down to the Declaration? All right, let's dive in.
More today about President-elect Donald Trump's plans regarding illegal immigrants and controversy surrounding the people that he's tapped for some of his key positions. Christian Benavides reports from West Palm Beach, Florida, home of Trump's transition headquarters.
In a state.
Now, I had to really dig deep into this thing. The way I understand it is that she didn't press charges. And he has a settlement with her. It's a done deal. But you know, those foes are going to bring this up and make him the issue as opposed to going forward with Trump's aims and his aspirations, his agenda. People, we have a time not just of the 5 C's, but also teach the 5 D's. Delay, deny, debate, derail, and destroy. And trust me when I say, this is going to be one of those moments, and I would say at least half of whoever Trump has picked, it's going to be a skirmish, because the opposition loves to do that. But what gets me about issues like border security is that when it came down to breaking the law, that is Joe Biden and everybody who's that ripple in the pond, that domino effect, who literally broke the laws of our Constitution and then declaring sanctuary cities, the 5 Ds were out the window. I mean, look, I got to call it as I see it, right? I live in a city that's a sanctuary city. It's hell. And Chicago's in debt. And now the mayor's asking for money. Property taxes, specifically. How put yourself in a homeowner's shoes right about now. You see these people just hatching out of nowhere. Buses coming up. Schools converted. I mean, buildings and factories converted. All types of shelter homes. Hotels. And some places living better than you. And now, the double whammy is now your taxes are going to go up. I mean, look. Can you imagine that? You drop in the second shoe. But again, nobody put up the 5 Ds then of delay, deny, debate, derailed, and destroy. They didn't even bring up the discussion. They put up one notice in my neighborhood. That was it. Next thing you know, here they come. No planning, no sitting down with us and debating. It should have took people, look, you know as well as I do, this thing was crammed down our throat, hands down. Not only in Chicago, New York. That's why I say we have a loosely knit takeover of the country. Because when this opposition, and I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, because both have been natural born fools at any given time in our history. But when you have a situation as delicate as housing, getting free food, medical and stuff like that, and now you're paying on the front end and the back end, and now the President of the United States to-be is declaring a national emergency. Well, you know what? It's kind of warranted, isn't it? You know, it takes time, many times, to figure out exactly what a policy means, especially in government. If you're running a business and you implement something for, let's say, 500 to maybe 5,000 workers or whatever. You know, it might look good in the discussion, 4, 5, maybe 6 discussions. And you might have an example of it being implemented somewhere else. But baby, we didn't have that option. We didn't have nothing to look at in terms of bringing somebody over and see how it was going to work out. This was all new territory, uncharted waters. Look, it is a social experiment. I just want to give perspective on this thing, because when people talk about illegal, let's talk about the policy that wasn't clarified. We didn't have enough information to really have the common American to digest exactly what was being brought before us, other than money. Because you need to do it in stages. You bring them over. Again, food, shelter, medical. How's it going to be paid for? I've done several stories. The outrageous prices of certain items that are ordered. The workers making X amount of money per hour. Remember, I did a video, I think it was anywhere between $75 to $90-something an hour personnel was making. And these are government contracts, people. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've done that type of story, but I believe that story was Chicago. But whatever it was, that's a problem. With all these key points that I just made up, it's beyond going back to the drawing board. They just need to get out. And I'm so glad that Joe Biden and Kamala, they getting out. Just get out. And let this be a lesson to all Americans that nothing comes over. I don't care if the federal government says okay, the mayor and the governor needs to give us time so we can think this thing through. I don't care if it takes 2 years to keep having meetings on it. This damaged us. This hurt us in so many areas, especially Black community. Look, everybody's doing videos on Blacks having a shouting match at their quarterly meetings. I've been meaning to go. I got to go one day. But it's like you get probably 75% of the same people going to meet the mayor and the ward committeeman there, and everybody telling their experience, and ain't nothing getting done. So that's why I just refuse. People email me, well, Pearson, how come you don't cover your own city? Look, it's hard for me to just make sure y'all get notifications every day. And being that only probably 10% of y'all get notifications when I put up a video, why would I put up a nothing burger? That's what and it's a shame I have to deal with that. But I'm gonna deal with it another way this time. Look, people, when you are a content creator and you are punished in terms of the numbers, I gotta sometimes choose news that's gonna at least give me some traction. Because when I do an Illinois video about the mayor or the governor and what's going on here with the illegals, unless I do it live and there's something crazy going on, I don't get no views. It's a waste of my time. So I have to think about doing it from a national level. And guess what? That's what this is. So getting back, will this gentleman be approved? Don't be surprised. I think Trump is wise on this. Keep pounding it out. Keep pounding it. Scare the hell out of them. So maybe 10 or 20% of them can get out now on their own. Push back on the mayors and the governors and whomever else. You want a sanctuary city? Go build one. Like somebody said to me about a year ago. If you're just going to let them over the border, should have just built a city right there on the border. Hello? Let them build their own jobs and everything else. Have their own city. Let them get acclimated the right way. Don't come in and disturb what we got. Look, I can talk about the black community is being hurt in Chicago and New York, and I'm sure other cultures are being hurt as well. Because you know, by now, over the last 6 or 7 months, I've watched a lot of videos, and it's more than just black communities now. It's even out in the farmland. Come on, man. This is crazy. Let's go with this next video here.
Chad Wolf in on all of this, the former acting Secretary of Homeland Security of the first Trump administration. Welcome back. The use of the military, as Ali says, you see it in Texas, or she does along the border in her reporting already. What about here from an executive order that the president will write? I mean, how important is the wording, I suppose, in that executive order if you're probably anticipating, given past experiences, there'll be some challenges possibly, right?
I think that's right, but I think it's important to remember President Trump issued a national emergency along that border in 2018. So his team, it does have some experience with this. And again, it's just allocating more DoD resources, and that comes in the way of manpower, comes in the way of assets and technology, and then of course it comes in the way of funding as well. So all three of those can be brought to the situation along that border. Exactly how the president's team wants to use that, I think is probably something they're still working through. But this isn't unique. Obviously, we have, as your reporting indicated, not only under President Biden, but under President Trump, you have the military.
Yeah, it's nothing unique. And I know from running business, you got to keep repeating. Look, because there is arguably what? We've got 2 months. 2 months exactly before Trump becomes president officially. And he says on day one he gonna do it. So I don't blame him for tweeting and talking, and people from his administration talking. And maybe 10 to 20% of them will get it and leave. Then it's less economics for us to get them up out of here. You know, as I'm looking at this, let me go down to this video here. You know, this here, Chicago City Council meeting explodes. We're turning red. Now this is an offshoot from a post from about 3 or 4 days ago. Let's see what this is about. This is our beloved mayor here in Chicago, and people meeting, being mad at the foolishness that this mayor here is doing in Chicago.
Brandon Johnson have ignored every plea, call, cry. You're going to protect the undocumented while you're going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer.
You ain't going to abide by what the president of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. Loser, get rid of the illegals.
Illinois is turning purple. We're going to turn red.
Ooh, Chicago residents tearing into Mayor Brandon Johnson at a heated city council meeting last week, accusing the mayor of prioritizing the needs of illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens in Chicago. Tio Hardiman, Executive Director of Violence Interrupters, joins us now. It doesn't seem to be a popular guy, Tio, with many constituents. Who exactly does he represent these days?
Right now, Mayor Brandon Johnson, he represents himself and his party, because a lot of the people in Chicago are frustrated with his performance so far as a mayor, especially when it comes down to the migrant issue here in Chicago.
So what exactly is it that the constituents are upset about?
Oh, you don't want to hear it. I wish I could do more than a minute. Let me tell you what we pissed about. Again, you got people that have been poor and helpless and downtrodden and trying to get schools closed by a past mayor, Rahm Emanuel, that some of them have been reopened to put migrants in for shelter. And it's just crazy. All the money that they say they didn't have, so they closed. They wound up finding money mysteriously during an inflationary period. And like I said, I could do these videos all day, so I was glad I just did an improv on that. But like I already said y'all before, and I'm one of the few people that's got the guts to say it. Everybody black folks ain't with you. They working for the globalists. That's who they working for, allegedly. It ain't just him. We got a lot of folks here in Chicago. They got world order tendencies. One day I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna have to get together on a bicycle or something and just show you all the construction in the, you don't even recognize part of downtown and parts of Chicago now. The streets are so narrow because they're turning everything into 15-minute cities right in front of us. Right in front of us. That's what these clowns are doing. That's where the money's going. They're not trying to make life better for blacks and nobody else. It's a conversion going on right in front of our face. I digress.
And Trump also says he plans to end temporary protected status for millions of legal immigrants. So break down who falls under that protection and the potential impact of ending it.
So temporary protected status protects individuals for whom the Department of Homeland Security has declared some catastrophic or extraordinary circumstance in their country, which makes nationals of those countries unable to return, and therefore grants those individuals permission to remain in the United States and work authorization. And countries that have had those declarations include Venezuela, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua. And in fact, Haiti is another one. In fact, there were efforts during the first Trump administration, almost all of which were successfully stopped in court to remove those temporary protected status grants, and the result.
We need to find out how much leverage will Trump have. He's getting his bulldogs in there, and they mean business. I pray this thing begins to happen. There's a commercial back in the day about a product says, that spells relief. I'm looking forward within 30 days to start seeing some changes around my area. I was told by a good source a couple weeks ago that the funding for migrants has stopped until sometime in December. So everything is on hold for a while. Put in the comment section if you are a city where you heard anything like that financially. Right now the money's on hold because that's the bottom line. Congress got to stop the money. Hopefully a national emergency. I hope, I don't know about that. I'm not a lawyer, not a governmental lawyer, but if there is somebody who knows, put in the comment section. Can Trump stop the purse? Does this thing fall under the guidelines of Homeland Security? If it does, then I believe he can stop the purse. Stop the purse. Because we ain't gonna tolerate no more going up on no taxes here. That ain't gonna happen. And I think I speak for all the big cities. Look, because that's the only other option is to get some money from somewhere. No, send them back and let's be done with it. My name is Franchise Pearson. Again, if I hear something on the Riley case, I will let you guys know. They haven't reached the verdict yet. I don't think it's over the testimony, but we will be following this thing. And again, we pray for the family. God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget, I have a backup channel. If you would please, thank you for those who have already helped out through subscribing. I need you to subscribe. We want to get 1,000 subscribers to this channel. Franchise Gift. I need that blessing. People, it has been very, very hard for me the last 3 weeks. It appears that when I started doing those videos just before the Trump election and that 6-hour video, I think they turned the screws on me so tight, y'all not getting y'all notifications. So please go to this next channel. Because, hey, I need this to get to 1,000. Let's see if that will get, then I try to get it monetized and see if I can make some money that way. Because right now, it's hurting. If you can help out, this is my P.O. Box. Franchise Pearson, P.O. Box 13116, Chicago, Illinois, 60613. I'll put all this in the description. Have Zelle, Venmo, Cash App. I have all that. I'll put it in the description because they hurting the brother. Ain't nowhere in the world. You got 24,000 subscribers, only getting 2,000 views. It don't make no sense. I had to holler today. I had to tell God I was sorry, but I got one of them moods. It's like, Lord, I'm doing 3 videos a day, and this is getting crazy. So please get this thing over 1,000. I need 1,000 subscribers, and then I need 4,000 listening hours to qualify this channel. And I need it also for backup. God bless you. God bless America. Keep the faith.